How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store is running its New Year New Deal sale, and let's be honest right now, this New Year New Deal sale is nowhere near as good as the holiday sale, but still some stuff to mention, and I dug up some deals under the price of $2. Now, these are all deals on super cheap games. Not all of them have I played, but it seems like, again, to give some attention to some of these lower key titles, you guys do enjoy it. So with that being said, got about 15 games to go over, so let's get right into it. This War of Mine, The Little Ones, is $1.99, a game that I always go to bat for. It is a phenomenal game, this survival title done by 11-Bit Studios, who obviously have done a lot of games that are like very grim and dark, and this War of Mine is a very grim and dark game. It's a war-based story, however, it shows more of the grim realities of war and not you playing as an overpowered soldier. It's about survival, it's about gathering resources, and you know, it's not you in a 1v100 situation taking everybody down. Rather, it's about normal civilians surviving in a war-torn town. And it's a fairly engaging experience, a realistic experience inspired by real-life events, make unforgiving and emotionally repercussive and life-or-death decisions, craft items such as weaponry, bed stoves, toys, and more, tackle randomized or predefined scenarios, or even create your own scenarios and characters, and experience war through the eyes of a child with the introduction of child survivals as well. 90% off for $1.99, great price point on that, definitely check that out. Alright, now to shift on over to a different kind of war game. Battlefield 4 is $1.99 as well. Battlefield 4, with the people that I mostly talk to, it does seem like Battlefield 4 is the game that they gravitate towards as the last Battlefield game that they really enjoyed. I thought BF1 was okay. I even had fun with Hardline. But yeah, Battlefield 4 was obviously phenomenal. A launch game on the PlayStation 4. I remember picking this up on launch day, and it was fantastic, man. Even to go back and play it just for the campaign, it's not a bad time. $1.99 for it, definitely a good shout, and given the fact that it's 12 years old now, I mean, that's insane to think about. It still holds up fairly well. You know, it's a classic, and it'll be a great thing if EA can bring back Battlefield to the promised land and get it to the level of BF4 once again. But yeah, $1.99 for that, I think that's quite good. Next up, 9 Monkeys of Shaolin, 90% off for $1.99. Now, we actually featured this game in one of our videos where I try out some of the cheaper games that are on sale, and 9 Monkeys of Shaolin was an interesting game. It's kind of a beat-em-up action game, really cool setting, like the visual style to it, and as you go through the game, there is actually quite a lot of depth to the combat, and it can get fairly challenging as you, as they introduce more and more mechanics that you have to be aware of. Fun beat-em-up game, not something you're gonna get blown away by, but for $1.99, I do think it's a decent pickup, so give that a look. Next up, Agents of Mayhem, 90% off for $1.99. Often when I talk about games, I say the phrase, wait until this is Agents of Mayhem price, or it's reminiscent of Agents of Mayhem. That's because I feel like Agents of Mayhem is a pretty good example of a game that you could have some fun with, but it is so mediocre, and a game that you kind of want to just mentally check out of and listen to a podcast or watch a video or something while playing the game as well. I put Suicide Squad in that category as well, where it's like a game that certainly you can have some nonsensical fun with. Agents of Mayhem, you can absolutely have some nonsensical fun with, but it's not a game you're looking to get super invested into and pay real close attention to an emotionally gripping narrative. That's not what this game is about, and not what it really shines at. But if you want some over-the-top, ridiculous open-world action, Agents of Mayhem will offer you some fun, all things considered. It's certainly not Volition's best outing, but for $1.99 again, I think it's a decent pickup at this price point. Next up, we got Redeemer Enhanced Edition, $1.49 on this, which I think is a great deal. An explosive top-down action shooter in which you fight your way through hordes of opponents in a variety of different ways, whether by sneaking, punching, or sabotaging. Your creativity is given free rein when deciding how to obliterate your opponents. You play as an elite agent who previously worked for the largest cybernetics weapons manufacturer in the world. At some point, the company turned against him, for it was only with a great deal of luck that he was able to escape to a remote monastery deep in the mountains. For 20 years, he sought to find peace and harmony with the monks, but now the company has found him and given him the opportunity to settle the odds. Whether it's fists, hammers, or firearms in your hands, it's bad news for his opponents. You can play solo, or you can jump into the game cooperatively as well. For $1.49, Redeemer Enhanced Edition seems like a pretty decent pickup. Next up, the Technomancer, 80% off for $1.99. This is done by Spiders, the same people that brought you Greedfall. And I actually think, as far as janky RPGs go, Technomancer is not terrible. Now, it is terrible if you spend $60 on it, you got absolutely robbed, but for $1.99, if you want to try something that's a little bit rough around the edges, like, Technomancer has a cool setting, and it has some cool mechanics, but certainly, when I say rough around the edges, very rough around the edges. This action RPG offers 4 different combat skill trees, focusing on 3 distinct fighting styles, as well as the potent electrical powers. Of course, brute strength is not suited to every situation. Dynamic conversations play a major part in questing, and your decisions will dramatically alter the story and the world as well. You can also craft equipment, weapons, and armor for yourself and any companions you recruit along the way. Undertake an adventure through Forgotten Paradise, lost cities under ice, and dystopian shanty towns that sprawl across Mars's dusty embrace. Will you survive long enough to uncover the truth behind the Technomancer? $1.99, pretty decent deal there. Next up, we got Goat Simulator. I mean, Goat Simulator is absolute chaos, much like Agents of Mayhem, you know, in the sense of a podcast game. Yeah, Goat Sim is gonna offer you that in a game you can kind of mentally check out of. You play as a damn goat, and you just do absolutely ridiculous things. Goat Simulator is the latest in goat simulation technology, bringing next-gen goat simulation to you. You no longer have to fantasize about being a goat. Your dreams have finally come true. Goat Simulator is all about causing as much destruction as you possibly can. As a goat, it has been compared to an old-school skating game, except instead of being a skater, you're a goat, and instead of doing tricks, you wreck stuff, destroy things with style, and you'll earn even more points when it comes to goats, and not even the sky's the limit. Goat Simulator is a completely stupid game, and to be honest, you should probably spend your money on something else, such as a hula hoop, a pile of bricks, or maybe pool your money together with your friends and buy a real goat. So, what a tremendous description for a game, but yeah, Goat Sim for $1.99. You can have some chaotic fun with it, and I would say that's a pretty decent shout. Beat Cop, $1.49. This is a great deal at $1.49. Throwback visual style here. Someone framed you, and no one cares about this but you. Turn every stone in the city and find out who did that. The further you investigate, the more missing puzzles you'll find, but be careful. Some things should never be brought to daylight. The essence of 80s cop shows. Have you ever dreamed of being one of the heroes of cop movies? Of course you did, like we all did. Now you have a chance. Stay vigilant and quick-witted, but remember that if this won't work, you can always do some old-school jaw-wrecking. It's the 80s after all. The humor that your mom wouldn't approve of. Be sarcastic, be gloom, be whatever you want. There are thousands of things in this world that you can laugh at, and even more you shouldn't, but who cares? It's a jungle out there, and sometimes you need to do something to release the stress. Beat Cop for $1.49. Good shout there. Next up, we have Akane, $1.19 on this one. A top-down 2D action game in which you must eliminate as many enemies as possible before losing. It's a sword-fighting game with lots of blood, violence, and samurai movie cliches, all mixed with the bright colors and futuristic suburban environments of cyberpunk style. Mega Tokyo 2121, a city with a population density of 100,000 inhabitants per square kilometer, made of colossal buildings, conglomerates, and megastructures interconnected by streets. Big corporations have enormous power over the city. In the forgotten and abandoned areas, poverty is plentiful, a chaotic jumble of houses and shops, murders, robberies, and trafficking happening often. Merchants are extorted by the Yakuza to pay high fees in exchange for protection. You are Akane, a ronin whose parents were murdered by the mob when she was 4 years old. She became a lone wanderer carrying only her katana and a thirst for revenge against every Yakuza member. Akane is available for $1.19. Next up, another throwback, Doom 64. Fight against demons in your crusade to hunt down the mother of demons and stop Hell's invasion as you battle through more than 30 action-packed levels. Be on the lookout for enhanced weapons and secrets to help you put an end to the demonic threat. Doom 64 is available for just $1.99. Next up, we have InnerSpace. In the final days of the Inverse, you must help the archaeologists recover the last remaining memories before they are lost forever. Fly through ancient skies and abandoned oceans to discover the lost history of this fading realm where entire civilizations have died, yet their gods still wander. InnerSpace is an exploration flying game set in the Inverse, a world inside out planets where gravity pulls outward instead of in. InnerSpace begins as a project among college friends and evolved into a successful Kickstarter campaign in 2014, and now you have the game available for just 99 cents. Next up, we have Alone With You, which is $2.99 for the base price. If you're a Plus subscriber, it's $1.99 from the creator of indie horror hit Home. Comes Alone With You, a bittersweet sci-fi adventure game that goes right for the heart. You're the last survivor of a doomed space colony trying to escape a planet before it implodes around you. Along with your troubled AI companion, you'll scan for clues, solve puzzles, and discover the fates over 24 colonists and the secrets of their interwoven lives. Experience more than a dozen missions, including lush installations, vast research labs, and the eerily quiet cabins of your former colleagues. Multiple endings and branching conversations are noted as well for $1.99. Alone With You is on sale for just $1.99 if you're a Plus subscriber. Next up, we have Octahedron. Octahedron has you surf through a pulsating underground world on platforms pulled from thin air in this challenging psychedelic action platformer that has you defying gravity to a pumping beat. Platforms from thin air reach for the sky, neon-powered upgrades, handcrafted delight, and on a dime master tight controls to pull off amazing feats of pixel-perfecting platform as obstacles and enemies move along with the beat, and thumping tunes as well get into the flow of a pumping atmospheric soundtrack by Chipcell of Super Hexagon fame and House and Trance producers Andre Sabata and Mana Mirror. That is available for just $1.29. Next up, we have Anomaly 2, 90% off for $1.49. Anomaly 2 is a sequel to the critically acclaimed Anomaly Warzone Earth, maintaining the core elements of the original tactical planning and the on-field commander to support troops in combat. Anomaly 2 adds new features to the single-player campaign and puts your skills to the test in a completely unique experience, the dynamic tower defense versus tower offense multiplayer mode. Key features now: morph your troops into war mechs, engage in multiplayer play as towers and destroy the humans, or lead the humans to annihilate the alien towers and carve your own path to victory as well. Anomaly 2 is on sale for just $1.49. And lastly, we have Sword of the Vagrant, which once again is $2.99 for non-Plus subscribers, $1.99 for Plus subscribers. The Vagrant is a 2D action RPG. As Vivian, you will experience an exciting and challenging adventure focused on combat gameplay that utilizes combo chains, charge attacks, and special skills, all while improving your character's builds through new equipment and abilities. Play casually or become a master combatant. The features note hand-painted, traditionally animated characters, flawless hardcore action combat, over 70 deadly and dangerous monsters and beats, and 6 massive level sets, all beautifully hand-painted, multiple weapons, armors, and accessories to loot. Purchase and discover a large-scale skill set to enhance character builds for immersive and intense gameplay all throughout. Great visual style, as Sword of the Vagrant is on sale for $1.99 with your Plus subscription, $2.99 without. And that's gonna do it for me. Again, as far as quantity of deals, definitely not as much as the holiday sale, but still some stuff to sink your teeth into, and all of these deals under the price of $2. Links to all of these in the description box below. That's gonna do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.